Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 45 of the Cleveland Indians franchise here at MLB The Show 21 for the PlayStation 5. And today we kick off the ALCS matchup between the Cleveland Indians and our old friends, the Houston Astros. Two teams we are very familiar with here on the channel. Meet up in the final four of the baseball playoffs. So excited for this one. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Houston Astros, they beat the Twins in 5 games down 2-0, won 3 straight to punch their ticket and now have a chance to win a pennant. It is game 1 to start, and they will be throwing off the lefty Framber Valdez, who takes the mound. Did not do very good in his first appearance against Minnesota, but they can do a little better against Cleveland here. Cleveland coming off of a 4-game series win against the New York Yankees, the favorites in the American League. They are riding a lot of momentum, and they look to carry it here in Houston. Amed Rosario starts off the day, and he pitches a sinker into right field for a base hit. So Cleveland offense starting off with a hit. That brings up Josh Naylor, who's had 2 postseason home runs so far. Average not quite that great. 2-2 pitch to him, and he perfectly lines one into right field for a base hit. And this one gets past Kyle Tucker out there in right. He tumbles, the ball goes all the way to the wall, and 2 batters into this game. Cleveland has a 1-0 lead. Next up, Eddie Rosario, the best hitter for Cleveland in the postseason. He just grounds it right back to the pitcher for out number 1. And we'll take a look at Cleveland's lineup. We've seen the first 3 hitters. Next up will be the DH, Francisco Reyes, followed by Jordan Luplow at third. Roberto Perez behind the plate, shortstop Andres Jimenez, center Oscar Mercado, and right field Harold Ramirez. One player you are seeing not in the lineup is Bradley Zimmer. That's because before the game, he suffered some lower back pain, so he will not be available for today and probably tomorrow. Here, back to the ball game though. Francisco Reyes hits a sinker off of the little jut out in left center. 2-0 Cleveland here in the early going, thanks to the double by Reyes. Offense firing on all cylinders to start this game. That brings up Jordan Luplow playing third base today, hitting 200 in the postseason. And he draws a walk on 5 pitches. Now runners on first and second, 1 away for Roberto Perez, the catcher, only hitting 125. 1-0 to Perez, and he gets a changeup, and he pops it up into right. Tucker will catch it, and they thought about tagging Reyes, but did not, so runners hold. And that brings us to Andres Jimenez, who's hitting .063 in this playoffs, not having the best of a postseason. Full count to Jimenez, and he looks at strike 3. A fastball hits the bottom of the zone, but Cleveland gets 2 in the top of the first, and they'll pitch it over to Aaron Savale, who pitched very good in the regular season, but looked terrible in Game 1 of the ALDS. He's looking for some redemption here against Houston. They will start off with a man who used to be in Cleveland, that is Michael Brantley. Hit .286 in that series against Minnesota, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. He leads off for Houston. And an 0-2 sinker, grounds it over to Naylor, flips it over to Savale covering, and that'll be the first outs for Houston. Let's take a look at this Astros lineup. We just saw Brantley followed by Miles Straw in center. Yordan Alvarez is your DH, Alex Bregman at third. Then you got Carlos Correa, Altuve, Gurriel, Tucker, and Stubbs. It's a very loaded middle of the lineup for Houston. Here's Miles Straw, who's been the center fielder for Houston this year thanks to George Springer's departure to Toronto. And he hits it up to his center fielder companion for a single. Next up, Yordan Alvarez driving over to shortstop, 6-4-3 double play ends the first. And Houston goes down 1-2-3. We'll go top second where Oscar Mercado steps to the box. Hitting .250, and he will help his average with a sinker into the gap. And Cleveland's offense still clicking. It is a leadoff double for Mercado. Next up, Harold Ramirez hitting .500 with an RBI, had a clutch base hit against New York. And then 2-2, he will look at strike 3. Nice curveball out to end by Valdez. Back to the top of the lineup, Rosario at the dish. This is a grounder of the middle. Correa fields it with his bare hand and throws Rosario out. Runner on third though, base hit drives him home, and Naylor does just that into right field. Cleveland up 3-0 here early. Takes us next to Eddie Rosario. Full count to Rosario, gets a nice curveball, drills it to center, but Straw is going to be able to grab this one, and Cleveland gets 1 in their half frame. In comes Alex Bregman, who has yet to get an RBI so far. 1-2 to Bregman. And he hits this one right over to Rosario. His second skips by his glove into the outfield. This one's actually going to roll all the way to the warning track. And Bregman is into second base. Rosario hasn't played a lot of second base this year, and they're going to charge him with an error there. In comes Carlos Correa, the shortstop, hitting .235 with 3 ribbies. He is a free agent after this season. He's going to demand big money. 2-2 pitch. This one's lined right over to Rosario. This time he does glove it for the out. And that brings up the former AL MVP, Jose Altuve. He's had very good this postseason, hitting .333, but he grounds out to shortstop here for the second out. Runner is still on second, by the way. And then Yuli Gurriel will look at strike 3, high cutter, and Seville strands the run. Top 3 now, up to Jordan Luplow with one away. Hits it right up the middle, but this time Altuve has some trouble with it. Shift was in effect. It worked good if Altuve could have made the play. So now Luplow is on first, and then Roberto Perez up next. Hits a slicer that is out of reach from Kyle Tucker. So lucky this one bounced over the wall for a ground rule double. But Andres Jimenez up next hits a curveball to the gap, and this one's out of reach from Straw. Into the corner it goes. 1 run comes around. The second one is being waved home. There will be no play at the plate. 5-0 Indians. 2 RBI double for Jimenez. And that knocks out Framber Valdez. Can't even make it 3 innings. And Luis Garcia will come in relief for Houston. Only made 13 appearances during the regular season. Has yet to make an appearance here in the playoffs. And he's going to have his work cut out for him. Runner on second, 1 away. He gets Mercado to ground out. So that's a nice play by Garcia. Harold Ramirez up next. 0-1. Turns on a fastball. Drills it to the gap. And it is going to be off of the bullpen wall. RBI double for Ramirez. His second of the postseason. He has played phenomenal when we needed him to be. Ahmed Rosario up next is not done. Base hit up the middle. 7-0 Indians. This one is turned into a rout early. Josh Naylor up next. First pitch swinging. He gets a nice fastball, but it is going to be outs number 3. But Cleveland already up 7-0. Seville, with all the run support in the world in this game, gets him to go 1-2-3 down in the third. And in the fourth, 2 away to Alex Bregman. Gets him to chop it over to short. 1-2-3 in the fourth as well. Cleveland looking good early. Bottom 5 now. Correa leads off. He chops this one up the middle. That one will get through, so that'll be a leadoff single for Houston in the 5th. Next up is Jose Altuve, and he walks on 4 straight pitches. That puts runners on first and second. Brings up Yuli Gurriel. An 0-1 pitch. Sinker is drilled to left center. Rosario at the wall makes a leaping grab at the scoreboard. Out number 1. Runner does advance, but saved extra base hits did Rosario. Great defensive effort. Kyle Tucker up next. First pitch pops up behind first. That will not bring the runner home. So now Houston needs another base hit. And Stubbs cannot deliver. Pop up into left field. Eddie has it. 7-0 still for the Indians. We'll go back to their batting now. Top 6, Rosario at the dish, and he looks at ball 4 with 1 away. Luis Garcia still in the ball game. And then Franmil Reyes drills this one into the right center gap. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Eddie is going to score with ease. No play again at the plate. And that's another run for the Indians. Jordan Luplow up next. He tries to hit this one deep. It's a nice pitch to do it. However, it's a moonshot out there to left. That'll be out number 2. Roberto Perez's turn. 1-0 to Perez. He pops this one up as well. And Kyle Tucker will get to this one, but it's 8-0 now Indians. Bottom 6, 2 outs for Yordan Alvarez. He draws a walk. So Seville up at 89 pitches here in the 6th. Gonna try to finish it off against Bregman, and he gets them to do just that. Puts him out at second base, and that'll be 0 runs still for Houston. Ryan Stanek will come in for the Astros, making his 4th appearance. Only pitched an inning and a third. Not looked so good. Just getting some garbage time here against Cleveland. And if you looked at his numbers, he had a feeling he was going to give up another run. 9-0 Cleveland in the top of the 7th. We'll go now into the bottom of the 7th. Phil Matan steps up to the mound. So Seville goes 6 shutout innings in this one. And Matan gets them to go down 1-2-3. Gurriel swinging at a pitch in the dirt. Put out at first base. And then top 8 to puts the nail in the coffin. Reyes takes Stanek deep to right center, over into the bullpen. Opposite field power. Reyes, first home run of the postseason, goes 422. Puts a 10 spot on the mound for the Indians. Flexes the right arm, bicep. And that'll do it for this one. Cleveland takes an emphatic game number 1. Final score 10-0. As the offense looked great, the pitching looked great, and they take a 1-0 series lead before Game 2 at Houston. And the Astros looking for answers. How can they stop this Cleveland offense? How can they get runs against these Cleveland pitchers? They have one more chance to answer at home. Looking at the box score, only 2 hits for the Astros, and then the Indians 10 runs on 15 hits. Savelle gets the win. Player of the game goes to Reyes, 3 for 4, 2 doubles and a homer. And the loss goes to Framber Valdez. Now looking at Bradley Zimmer's update, it was a lower back pain injury. He will just be benched, so he won't miss significant time, but don't know when he'll be back healthy. In the NLCS, it's the Reds versus the Dodgers, and the Reds steal Game 1 9-3 against the Dodgers, putting up an emphatic statement. Moustakas has been white hot for the Reds during this playoff run. Game 2, though, the Dodgers do win 11-7, so they split the first 2 games in LA, but now Cincinnati will host 3 straight. Moustakas had another home run in this one, but it was a combined effort. 6 homers for the Dodgers helped them get the win. Also in this one, Kershaw, if you only saw, he didn't even go 2 innings. That's because he dislocated his shoulder, so Kershaw's postseason is over. That could be a big blow for the Dodgers, especially if they make it to the World Series. But before we even talk about that, it's Game 2 here at Houston. We just saw Indians take a 1-0 series lead. But we're right back here to Minute Maid Park on Monday night for a matchup. Indians, Astros. Astros looking for some help here in Game 2, while the Indians will look to take a 2-0 lead to Cleveland. Jose Urquidy will be on the mound for the Astros. He looked pretty solid this season and did very good in his first October start. Ahmed Rosario will take to the plate for Cleveland. As you see the Astros wearing their whites, Cleveland wearing their alternate blues. And Ahmed Rosario, 241, 3 RBIs. 2-1 pitch here to Ahmed. He gets an inside-out swing, is jammed, but puts it into right field. So good at reaching on base. Another leadoff hit for Cleveland to start this game. Josh Naylor up next draws a walk. So not the start you'd like to see if you're an Astros fan, which is basically only the people in this stadium right now. Eddie Rosario steps to the dish, 318, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, but he gets tied up on an inside slider strikeout for Eddie. That'll be the first out for Cleveland. Franmil Reyes back up to the dish, just saw him go yard in Game 1. First pitch swinging on an inside fastball, gets jammed. This time it'll be popped out into right. However, Ahmed does have some speed, and he will make it to third. So runners on the corners, 2 away for Jordan Luplow. But we'll take another look at Cleveland's lineup today. The exact same one you just see. Harold Ramirez still out in right field, 7-14 in the postseason. Josh Naylor will be the one to look out for, hitting only 192, hoping he can turn that around. He currently stands on first base. But Luplow up next gets a nice curveball to hit up high, but might have just been a little early, and Cleveland gets nothing in the top of the first. On the mound for Cleveland will be Tristan McKenzie making his first appearance of the postseason. You can see his regular season numbers right there. Not the best for the hard-throwing right-hander, but McKenzie with a golden opportunity here to put Cleveland up 2-0 if he can turn in a good performance here today. Start off his day against Michael Brantley once more, the lefty. And the reason why Cleveland went with McKenzie over Allen is because Houston's lineup is very right-hander heavy other than Alvarez. However, the lefty Brantley, to start off the day, gets a leadoff double into the right field corner. He will be on second base, and that'll bring up the second batter, Miles Straw. 1-0 to Straw, gets a nice changeup, but pops it up in the infield. That one will be taken care of by Naylor. And we'll take a look at Houston's lineup. As you can see, we saw the lefty Brantley, the righty Straw, then it's lefty, righty, 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 lefty, lefty. So there's 3 lefties, 3 out of the 4 lefties in this lineup are in a row. So we'll have to keep that in mind, see if Cleveland can game plan around that. Here's the other lefty, though. Yordan Alvarez gets a fastball, but pops it up into center, which is just enough time for Mercado to reach underneath it. Puts it away for out number 2, and that brings up Alex Bregman, who gets a full count changeup, but skies it into center for out number 3. Both teams scoreless through the first, take it to the second, where Oscar Mercado is up at the plate, and Cleveland just goes down 1-2-3 pretty lazily. Carlos Correa starts it off for Houston. He will take his base. McKenzie has had his problems with his command, and he walks the first batter of the inning, but he does get Altuve to look at strike 3. Fastball hits the out corner. Then Yuli Gurriel up next gets a nice curveball and drills it to left, but not deep enough. Eddie is underneath that one. 2 away for Houston. How about Kyle Tucker up next? He also draws a walk. So 2 walks in the inning for McKenzie for Garrett Stubbs. First pitch to Stubbs, gets a fastball, it drills it to center. However, it is going to be put away, and both teams scoreless through 2. Top 3, Naylor at the dish. Rips this one into right field, gets a nice slider. It's a 2-out single for Cleveland. They try to spark a rally. However, Eddie Rosario up next goes down, quote-unquote, swinging for the second time today. Bottom 3, 1 away for Miles Straw. Hits a changeup over the glove of Naylor at first. That one's going to be down the line. Straw's got some speed, and he'll turn this one into a double. So 1-out double for Houston. A base hit brings him home more than likely. However, Yordan Alvarez gets the slider and skies it into left. Eddie has it. They won't test the short field, and Straw will stay at second. Alex Bregman's turn, 1-2, swings and miss on the inside fastball. Nice pitch by McKenzie. Both teams scoreless through 3. And we'll go into the 4th. 2 away for Roberto Perez. 2-1 changeup lined into center, and Cleveland's offense been very quiet to start it today. Bottom 4, Correa up at the dish again. He draws his second walk of the ball game. Full count pitch is not even close from McKenzie. But 3 batters later, Kyle Tucker goes down, and nothing happens in that inning as well. So both pitchers looking pretty solid here. Top 5th, Andres Jimenez leads us off for Cleveland. He hits this one into right field. So finally again, Cleveland has a base runner. And on the 1-0 pitch, Jimenez is actually taken off for second. You don't see this very often, and he is thrown out. Stubbs with a great throw to second, guns him down. Cleveland trying to get aggressive on the base pass, realizes the offense hasn't clicked today. It does not work out, as now they get nothing in the inning, as Rosario looks at strike 3. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, that actually will do it for McKenzie. His energy level was getting pretty low. Had a lot of pitches thanks to his walks. But Scott Alexander will take over here in the 5th. His first batter he will see is Stubbs, and he will swing at the first pitch, but Luplow with a nice diving effort stops it, guns him down at first. Great defensive play over there at the hot corner. And then Brantley, lefty on lefty matchup. Cleveland knew they had 3 straight lefties going, and they bring in their lefty in Alexander, and it works out to perfection. That's why you vary your lineup sometimes. However, it hasn't seemed to matter against Cleveland, as Urquidy just mowed through these batters. That's another 1-2-3 inning for Houston. Into the 6th now, Nick Whitgren will take over, as now the lefties have been extinguished, other than Yordan Alvarez. Alex Bregman, though, with 1 away, swings and misses on the low slider. So now 2 outs, brings up Carlos Correa. 3-1 pitch, and this one's drilled to left. Fair ball, it is gone off of the train tracks. And that is one way you break the tie. Carlos Correa goes yard. The fans up on their feet. Correa says, I can't hear y'all. Astros up 1-0. Go Astros go. First lead of the series thanks to the Carlos Correa solo shot. Next batter up is the former MVP, and he goes down swinging. So Nick Whitgren gets out of the inning, but Houston has drawn first blood here in the 6th. Top 7, Cleveland can't answer. Urquidy another 1-2-3 inning. Nick Whitgren stays in the 7th. He starts with a leadoff base hit up the middle, and that'll do it for Whitgren. Phil Matan will come out in this one. Just pitched 1 inning of work in game 1 and went down 1-2-3. Looking for a little bit here in this one. 1 batter down is Garrett Stubbs. Gets a nice curveball that is popped up into center. Nice pitch by Matan. It's now 2 away for the top of the lineup. It's Brantley, first pitch swinging over to Jimenez, who actually has trouble with it, and Brantley will beat out the throw. So that could have been the end of the inning. However, an error on Jimenez. Will that come back to bite Cleveland? No, it will not. Miles Straw swings and misses on the high heat. So now we'll go into the 8th, where Pedro Baez will take the mound for Houston. Urquidy goes 7 strong in line for the win. First batter he'll face is Mercado, who looks at strike 3 on the corner. And Harold Ramirez up next. His first pitch swinging, and he drills a changeup to left onto the train tracks for a solo shot. Harold Ramirez, out of all people, goes yard for Cleveland. He was on the bench most of the year, actually spent a lot of time in AAA, and he has been the unsung hero of this series. Solo shot from Ramirez ties it up. And it also takes us to the top of the lineup. Ahmed Rosario over to third, is thrown out at first. Nice play by Bregman. Can Josh Naylor get something done? He draws a full count walk and will take his base. And that'll bring up Eddie Rosario 0 for 3 on the day. Make it 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Eddie Rosario, horrible day. Into the bottom of the 8th we go, tied at 1 apiece. Yordan Alvarez leads off for the Astros. That's a base hit into center field. And that'll actually do it for Phil Matan. Cal Quantrill will come out and make his second appearance of the postseason. Inherits the runner on first base. And it's Alex Bregman 1 away, and he dribbles it 1-1 count, dribbles it over 6-4-3 double plays. Now it's 2 away for Houston. Quantrill, 1 batter, 2 outs, but does draw Correa on first base with a walk. So that'll bring up Jose Altuve 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out back in the 6th in his last at bat. 1-1 to Altuve. He grounds it over to the right side of the infield. This time Rosario has some trouble with it. He makes his second. No, they're not going to say it's an error. They're going to say it's a base hit. I would have considered it an error. But now runners on first and second for Gurriel, and he hits this one up the middle. It's going to get down for a base hit. And what could have been the end of the inning puts another run on the board for Houston. 2-1 Astros. They regain their lead thanks to Gurriel. That'll actually do it for Quantrill. Heading to the lefty part of the lineup, they're going to bring in Logan Allen, who actually started Game 2 against New York. Is called upon here in relief. He will face Kyle Tucker and get up to swing and miss, so Allen gets the job done. But now Cleveland down by 1 into the 9th, where Ryan Presley will step to the mound. His 4th appearance, and he saved all 3 of Houston's wins against the Twins. He's looking to make it 4 for 4 here, and he will start off against Franmil Reyes, who is 0 for 3 so far today. 2-2 pitch to Reyes, and he'll make it 0 for 4. Looks at strike 3. Not a good at bat by Reyes. Then Jordan Lupel up next. Cannot connect on the nasty sweeping curve. We know Ryan Presley's a very good pitcher. And now it's up to Roberto Perez for the Cleveland's life. 2-2 to Perez. Gets a fastball. Hits it right over to short. Correa has it. Guns it over to first. And that is the end of this one. Houston wins in a low-scoring effort 2-1 here at Minute Maid Park. They tie the series up at 1 apiece. So a big-time win for the Astros. Pedro Baez gets the win despite giving up the home run. But Cleveland will go back home for 3 straight ball games with a tied series at 1 apiece. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But big win here for Houston. Nice late-inning heroics by their batters. 2 runs on 7 hits for Houston. Cleveland's offense not nearly as explosive in this one. Only 1 run on 5 hits. Quantrill got the loss. Correa was your player of the game. Only had 1 at-bat in this one. He drew 3 walks, went 1 for 1, and it was a solo shot. So not a bad day for Correa. Back to the NL side of things, the Dodgers win Game 3 6-4 thanks to a 4-run 6, 2 homers from Max Muncy in this one. And once more, Mike Moustakas goes yard for the Reds, but it doesn't matter. And that'll bring us to the end of this one. Next episode, we will turn it back over to Progressive Field for Games 3 and 4. ALCS tied at 1 apiece. The NLCS is 2-1 Dodgers. Who will take the next couple of games? We'll have to find out in the next one. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.